What is up, Scream Team? It's me. Um, this is really exciting, and I'm a little nervous because this is my first YouTube live stream. Believe it or not. How long have I been doing this? And I've never done a YouTube live stream. So I guess you could say I am popping my live stream cherry tonight. But I figured that this was a really good time to do it because the Scream 6 trailer. Is it a teaser trailer? Is it a trailer? I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. But it is out now. And I'm going to react to it because I hate doing reaction videos. As I've probably mentioned before, I I'm not like a very emotive person usually, so it's hard for me to sit and watch something and I'm not gonna be like ooh wow like that kind of bullshit. So I just think it's like I'm boring as a reactor. And normally when I like if and when I do reaction videos, I just don't even have the reaction. I just like have my thoughts beforehand and then my thoughts afterhand. And I guess like people get really irked about that in the comments. I've seen people being like, "What's the point?" Um, I mean, and for one, like I don't watch reaction videos either. That's another thing, or like reaction anything. So I don't know how they do it. I don't know how like a creator can take a pre-existing video, which is like copyrighted and all that, so like a trailer for a movie, and then place it over top of their video and then watch through it, because that's like instant demonetization, and I don't want to like risk it or like even just put a minute of effort into something that's like just taking time and energy and money away from me. So that's why I never do stuff like that. But I figure as a live stream, it makes more sense. And then that way I don't feel that's another thing. Like I like if it's live, like it happens. Whatever is said or done here is kind of like lives on the internet forever. Um, so it's you can't like edit or tweak around that. Whatever my reaction is, it is. But I'm very transparent, so even if I don't have a reaction to anything that's like very emphatic, I'll tell you how I feel and I'll be honest. Like I'm never dishonest with any of you. So um, I think it'll be I think it'll be fun. I'm excited. I woke up today and just like thinking about this movie, and I feel like I'm even more excited for this one than I was for five. And I have a feeling that I'm gonna like this movie more too. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting way ahead of myself, but we'll like wait a little bit for more people to come in. I don't want to watch it right away. And honestly, like there's so many comments that I want to chat with you as well. Um, so let's see who's going to get their comment picked. Oh, that went by already. Let's see, sorry. Lloyd Neal. There we go. So much potential with this one. There is. And honestly, I'll say this because I think that a lot of people have discounted this just because like no Nev Campbell, um, and they're boycotting it or whatever. I don't believe that. They're gonna see it regardless. But I think that like I don't think that Sydney needs to be in this movie. I think that it's almost like to have her in this is like an excess of riches. Like there's just too much good stuff going on. Like because we already got Courtney, we have Hayden, We have all the returning newbies. That it's just like it's too much. It's more than we need. That and also just in terms of like her character, she deserves a break. I'm fine with having a non Sydney centric or even like Sydney cameo appearance Scream movie. I don't think it'll hurt the franchise or the ongoing story. Um, Leonardo Arguello says, "Oh, it looks like it has a more darker tone than the last one." Okay, well, I'll see. I haven't watched the trailer yet, so I will speak to that when I know. Um, I don't know if super chat. Okay, I think I have like super chat set up. I don't know how live stream really works here. I know that like you can pay to have your comment highlighted. So not nobody has to do that, but as far as I know, I think that's a thing that works, and then I'll be able to see it. But if not, I'll catch whatever comments I can. Rhett Davison, do we know why they're all in New York though? No. I mean, I know that probably because they didn't want to do Woodsboro again, and I'm completely on board with that. That was one of my 10 wish list, like, check mark thingies of just, like, get the hell out of Woodsboro. So glad that it's, at least that was granted to me, to all of us. Um, but it's certainly the change of scenery is appreciated. I think. I mean, I've done my rankings and I've changed my mind as well. But I think that the Woodsboro movies, aside from the first one, are like on the lower end for me. I kind of like how the ones that are set in other locations have a different feel to them, and I think that this one will as well. Like this seems like without watching the trailer, like a completely fresh take on the formula. We shall see. Um, okay. Hold up here. I don't know how to say this. Okay, Sarah Campbell. You sure do have super chat set up. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. And hello as well. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I know why I've never done live stream. Like I do live streams on my Patreon. But that's just like a small group of people who are subscribed to me on Patreon who are part of that. So it is a little nerve wracking to kind of like be live in front of a lot of how many people are here right now? 213 at the moment, which is quite a bit. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if this will be a regular occurrence. I'd like to try to live stream more. But I think that if I did, it would be like special occasions like this. Because I think that this definitely warrants a live stream, at least for Scream 6. This has been like hyped for a long time now. If even though the last movie just came out, it seems, but just in terms of like just when they finished filming till the release date, which is now March 10th. I think people were like, "Where's the trailer? When's the trailer gonna drop?" And I don't, I don't follow a lot of Scream 6 news or updates. I was doing that for Scream 5. Like what the genesis of my channel really was like covering Scream 5, and I pretty quickly realized like that was not my forte. I was more interested in more like creative endeavors for video content, and not really wanting to spoil or like dig too deep into what we know about productions and stuff like that. So as far as like Scream 6 goes, I know nothing. Most of the stuff, if I do happen to catch a glimpse of something, I don't even believe it anyway, because I think that it's a lot of fan theory and speculation. Um, but okay, now I don't know how to control this. I saw another super. Um, I'll have to go. Okay. Chris, hey, so excited you finally popped your cherry here. Love your content. Thank you, Chris. Um, Trisha McMasters, hello. And Space Mountain TV, hey. Um, and Nathaniel Fincher, thanks for doing this, Zach. You are the best. Thank you, Nathaniel. You're the best. I know Nathaniel for a while now, one of my Patreon supporters. So thank you again. But yeah, lost my train of thought. But just talking about Scream 6 updates and things like that. I'm kind of the mindset, like, I'd really just want to go in knowing as little as possible. Um, Ideally, like, if I wasn't me, like if I wasn't like YouTube and all that, doing this and covering this, because it's almost like there's, I don't want to say an expectation, but I do feel obligated in a way to kind of follow the movie to a certain extent and chat with you all about it. So that's why I'm doing this. But if I wasn't, I'd probably avoid the trailer altogether, trailers. Because when Five Cream came out, I watched that trailer once and I didn't watch it again. I didn't go through it like frame by frame, which I'm not going to do here with 6. But I just took it in the one time and I'm like, okay, I don't, like, I got as much as I needed to. I didn't go through it to see that Amber was like spinning around on fire and Sam was like stabbing someone with a plaid sleeve, which was Richie. Things like that, which should absolutely not be in the trailers at all. But, you know, had I been more kind of like investigative there and just like delving deep into it, I probably would have been spoiled. So that's why I think that it's best to avoid these things altogether. So my hope for this trailer is that there's nothing. Like, ideally, like, thinking back to like the Scream 3 trailer, that's the best kind of trailer because it's all hype and no reveal at all. There's maybe like a few shots of characters screaming, which is quite fitting, but you don't see anyone really getting stabbed or attacked or anything, which really like negates so many suspects. I mean, there is the possibility that like one of the killers is faking their death. They're faking being attacked, as has happened so many times. But when you show it happening to more than half of the cast, it takes away that mystique. So you don't know what's or sorry, you know to a certain extent, like, okay, well, I saw Mindy, you know, with a knife like next to her head, and Chad was running away and got stabbed. So it's just like, you know, there's certain exceptions that you can make and be like, well, this person's not the killer. This person is not the killer. I want to play that game of like guessing who it is when I'm watching the movie, not kind of beforehand. At least if I do play that game, I don't want it to be based off of spoilery images that I've already seen. So, that's it. We're 300 people in the chat. Maybe, okay. Should I watch the trailer now? Hold on, I just see if I got any other soups. No, I think we're all caught up. Oh no, we got another. Dominic Turilli. I don't know if I'm more excited for Scream VI or Who Killed Who Scream VI. There's no competition for horror content. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Dominic. I'm excited for the Who Killed Who and Scream. I mean, we're all in agreement that like they're never gonna do one killer again. That would be really lame. And it would take away my pride and joy of being able to make a video like that. But I mean, I've spoken to this before. I don't want to see. I think it should always be two killers. Um, I don't think there needs to be a third one or like a whole slew of them. I think two is perfect because that's if they're smart about it, it doesn't have to be like, well, what's it going to be now, like a guy and a girl, or like two guys or two girls, or whatever. It's like that's not the surprise. Isn't like how many there are. Or that it's just the surprise is really like what's unique about these two killers. So like Scream 4, like that was a really cool angle because like like you saw that their plan was to like become internet famous, or just upload their the killings to the internet. That was something that was unique about them. Um, 5, like, which is why like I don't really love Amber and Richie so much, is just that they're copying Stab, or just about those movies. Um, that's why I think that they're weaker villains. So really, I mean, if they're doing their job right, if the writers know what they're doing, I hope they'll just know that like all you have to do is have two killers and make them completely like just stand out from the rest of them. It doesn't matter if it's like a different personality type or not. It's just what is their MO. That's the most important thing. Um, Trisha McMaster's. Some say killer already spoiled thoughts. Okay, well I'll watch the trailer. I hope not, because that would be awful. Okay, one more I'll read. Space Mountain TV. I live 5 minutes from where it was filmed in Montreal. So cool seeing my city in my favorite movies. That is pretty cool that it's Montreal. I've never been to Montreal. I'm Canadian, but never there. Um, okay. All right, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna go. If anyone wants to watch along with me, I'm gonna go to the one. It's okay. There's a few. Scream 6 trailer 2023. Jenna Ortega. That seems to have the most views. So it's also the longest. So I don't know if there's like extra in it, but let's start this one here. Okay. Ads are playing. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, that's it? that's that's the whole thing. Um wow. Okay. I think I need to watch that again. Okay, well, just like first thoughts before I watch it again. I want to watch it again. But where okay, first of all, what's with those like establishing shots of New York? They looked kind of fake. But this didn't feel like a Scream trailer at all. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. I don't know if it's a good thing, but it's just like I liked it, and there's definitely this the emphasis put on the subway and and being in New York City was like the tagline of like in a city of millions, something scream. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch it again. Okay, I'm gonna watch it again right now. That's crazy. Yeah, it doesn't look like real New York, and I'm guessing it's Halloween time because there's people dressed up. And they're all together on the subway. And Mindy appears to get it. Okay, wow. I don't know if I want to like look any further. Like I don't want to look for Easter eggs or things like that. I'm just like scanning the costumes. It looks like I see a Babadook. um, there's a werewolf. One, okay, just because this is like set in a subway, because I think there's been a lot of talk about like a chase scene in a subway. I don't know if this is like kind of the precursor to that scene, or what it is, or maybe that's a later one. But I was thinking like if they did a chase scene like in a subway, that feels like maybe it could be very homagey to an American Werewolf in London. However, that was like an empty subway station, and I feel like the theme that they're kind of going with Scream Six is that it's a crowded city. There are people everywhere, and it's very true to life. Unfortunately, that I don't think a lot of people would really bat an eye at someone screaming on a subway or being chased by a maniac. That even, could even be an homage to Jason Takes Manhattan when he's stalking them through the train car. Um, okay, I'm not gonna watch it again. I just want to scan through the costumes. There's a few people dressed as Ghostface. This is okay. This is my trepidation. Is that it's just there's gonna be more stab. There's gonna be more stab shit. It's just gonna be talking about stab and references to stab and how the stab franchise is like this linchpin of 90s pop culture and horror of today even, and how it's the greatest thing. And I'm done with stab, and I don't want this to be a stab heavy movie. I whatever. There's Ghostface costumes. I've accepted the fact that that's kind of exists in this universe, but the stab movies suck. We were all there in Scream 2 when they watched it at the theater. Like, this was a bad movie. Randy didn't even like it from like the preview he saw. It's astounding to me that the writers would have that so backwards to think that like just like even like comparatively that stab is Scream, because like to me it's not. It's a huge joke. So anyway, I made my peace with the fact that there are ghost faces everywhere because stab is a thing. I just don't want this to be connected to stab in any way. Like, it just let stab be stab and put it as far in the background as possible. Mindy appears to be targeted here. Of course, this could all just be like fancy editing. Like, who knows what's going on here. You hear the sound of the stab going into her, but again, like, that could also be just fancy editing. So I don't know if that's necessarily like, I don't think that they would show Mindy's death scene if she was going to bite it. But at the same time, I don't necessarily think that everyone's going to get out unscathed, especially with all the survivors from the last movie. So interesting. I think that if someone does die, I think it will be Mindy, because she is such a fan favorite. Like, she's just so popular that it's just sort of in line with, like, kill the favorites. Get rid of the people that everyone gloms onto the most. Um, so that's interesting. And we didn't see any Gale. We didn't see any Kirby. Who was on? Okay, I saw there was the twins. There was Sam and Tara. Were there? I saw like there was someone standing with them. I don't know what like the new cast looks like. I have not followed names other than Dermot Mulrooney and yeah, I think that's like the only actor who like I know out of like new additions to the cast. But there's this guy standing with them with kind of like the buzzed haircut, and he's got a denim jacket on. I don't know if he's just an extra in the background or like more prominent, but he seems to be with that group. So I don't know if that's one of the actors. See, like, this is how little I've been paying attention to who's in it. So please be patient with me. Oh, I see a Jason. There's a Jason mask on the train. That's funny. Uh, yeah, yeah, just really targeting Mindy there. Fuck. I'm impressed. I'm happy that this was the trail, the teaser. I'm sure there's going to be another trailer. Like this will not be the only promotional footage for the movie, but it's just enough to kind of like tantalize me and whet my palate that I do want to see more, but I don't, because I don't want to accidentally see more than I want to see. But it was just the perfect amount, because I feel that like even in terms of like production, we knew that there was going to be subway stuff. We knew it was going to be in New York, so all of that's like fine and well. I don't feel that anything was spoiled for me that I didn't already know. I would be very upset if March 10th rolls around, I see the movie, and then find out that that was Mindy's death scene. That would be pretty shitty for them to show that in the teaser. But I just like comparatively to Five Cream, where you basically got the entire opening scene shown to you in the beginning of that trailer. I love that that's not here or anything like that. I have no idea what the opening scene is going to be. I have no idea what role any of the characters, new or returning, are going to play. That's perfect. Like this, they're doing this right. Unless I'm missing something huge that is like a blatant spoiler. That I don't know, but this is exciting. I'm thoroughly excited for this movie. I'm probably more excited for this than I was for the last one. And I feel like, especially since kind of like what, as far as I understood from listening to interviews with the writers and directors, is that the five was kind of their way of bringing it back around to the original and honoring all that stuff This is the one where they really kind of get to take the training wheels off and do their own thing. And I think that that's going to be a success of this movie, is that it's not kind of tied to Wes Craven. Because the thing is, like, Wes Craven is brilliant. And, all of the Scream movies to date, like, especially all of his movies, even though, they're ranked differently to me, um, I love them all. They're all great movies. The problem is, though, when someone else comes in and tries to imitate someone else's work, that's never going to be successful. It's always going to be compared to someone else. So I feel like, now we're getting to see what they can do. Like, when I found out initially that it was like going to be the Ready or Not directors, I was excited because I think that movie was very well directed, and especially knowing now about that movie, what I didn't know back then is that they did play a big hand in kind of altering the trajectory of the movie, because I think the original script had ended a lot different. That they have really good ideas to bring to the table. So I'm glad that now that we don't have to kind of fit into a mold anymore, we can do whatever. And Scream for me has definitely been a successful franchise because it's, even though a lot of it is repetitive, every movie does have a very unique signature to it. And I think, especially now with this one, this is probably going to be the most unique out of all of them. And that's what I'm excited for. That's what I'm most excited for sure. So we get to some comments here because I've been yapping a lot. Just make sure I didn't miss any super chats, because I seriously don't know how to go through all this. Okay. Someone will let me know. All right, going right down to the bottom. Lily B. Speaking of Ready or Not, Samara Weaving is in this. She is. I totally forgot about that. See, that is exactly why it's good to not be in the know, because it's like that would have been a surprise. I mean, who knows what the poster will be like if all their faces on it, but I completely forgot that she was. I think that is she going to be the opening kill? I think it would make the most sense if she is, because she's kind of the biggest name or the most recognizable face out of everyone, that it just seems that she would be. She was one of the last people brought on just in terms of the cast as well, so I feel like that would make sense that it would be her. They filmed her stuff separately. I'm just speculating. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. Okay, who all is in this movie? Someone's got to remind me, because okay, there's obviously the four returning kids. So Sam, Tara, Mindy, Chad, Gail's in this, Kirby is in this. So that's 6. Samara Weaving. Now that you tell me Samara Weaving, I remember the guy from the Spider-Man movies as well. Forget his name, but he played in the new ones with Tom Holland. He plays Flash. He is in this. Dermot Mulrooney. The guy who plays the father in Ready or Not, he's in this as well. But the rest of them, all those people are brand new to me. I don't know any of them. Hold up here. Dominic again. Kirby is there next to Tara, blonde hair, leather jacket. There's also a girl dressed as Samara Weaving's character from Ready or Not. What? Okay. Hold on, I gotta go back and look at this. I did not see Kirby. Where is Kirby? Kirby is there next to Tara. I don't see her. Okay, you see her hair, but you don't see her face. Okay. See, I didn't even need to know that. And then there's a girl dressed as Samara Weaving's character from Ready or Not. So she's dressed up as a bride. Let me look for that. You guys have such sharp eyes because I don't see any of this. Wow. Why isn't I don't see Kirby in this like wide shot of them all though? So maybe that's a different subway ride. See, now I'm like diving into things I don't want to know about. Yeah, I'm not gonna look anymore. I can't. Um, uh, Stevie Capone, can you do a video on each horror movie reference in the costume of this teaser? I mean, maybe I still have to do one for Scream 5, but yeah, that would actually be a good idea. I have something I that I need to edit together that I filmed that hopefully everyone will enjoy very much, Scream related. But yeah, I could maybe do that. That would probably be a good idea actually. Um, and Kiki Dehamta, thank you. Um, Yeah, I don't like. I'm just afraid that if I go through the trailer so many times, like it's going to get spoiled for. Like I'm gonna pick up on things that I don't want to pick up on. Hold on here. Um, okay, Jack Champion. Sorry, Jalen says and Jack Champion. That name sounds familiar. Um, so yeah, like the new cast who are not like recognizable faces. Sort of like the Timothy Oliphants of the of Scream Six, because he was kind of the unknown on that movie. Um, who do we all think is the killer? Um, the Toby Show. Zach, do you think this will cover anthology films? Last was requels. Interesting theory. They're definitely, that's the thing, because it's if this is doing its own thing, separate from all of the other movies, I don't know if it necessarily needs to have a theme of like what kind of movies it's doing. I've always said that all Scream needs to do is like reference horror movies, like just do things that have like been done from like obscure pictures in the past, which they haven't done. Like that was the first movie, but then everything, there's some in Scream 2, but then like subsequently after that, like it just got more so about referencing the first movie. So it might be just a thing where they don't need to follow like patterns or trends of the genre anymore if they're just kind of making original ideas. So who knows? But yeah, I see a lot of people saying that they think Kirby will be the killer. Um, I think okay. I think that the killer. Okay, actually, Nathaniel Fincher says the killer will be a Debbie Salt version with a major. I think that okay. Uh, man or is a man. I think that's what I think. I think that, I mean, not necessarily a Debbie Salt version, but I think that it's going to be. If you've all seen my video for how to figure out who the killers are, or like the killer edit, that video, I talked about how there's 7 different types of killers. Well, 6 really, or 7 different types of characters, and only 6 of them can be the killers. So there's the red herring, which is never the killer. But we've had multiples of like every killer type. Like there's the confidant, there's like the boyfriend character, the devil's advocate. What were the other ones? The apathetic friend, hidden in plain sight, and the wild card. The wild thing like that again. That was just because of like script, last minute rewrites and stuff like that. Because like Debbie Salt or Mrs. Loomis, Nancy Loomis, if you will, was really the only character that was kind of like the hidden in plain sight, like the very peripheral background character. I feel like we're gonna get another killer like that again. I don't necessarily know which cast member it's going to be, or if it's even one of like the major announced cast members. Like it could always be someone else, but I think that's the route they're going to go again, because it hasn't been done for a while. It's only been done the one time. Otherwise, it's always like someone in the friend group. And I'm sure like, you know, one of the other killers will be like part of the friend group. But I don't know. Something is telling me there's going to be 3 killers, or it's going to end with like a cliffhanger of like the reveal that there's a 3rd killer that was not masked. And I hope they don't do that, because just because of the fact that so many people are talking about it, that it doesn't feel like it would be fresh or original at this point if it's already on so many people's minds. Which is why I think they should just keep it 2 killers. That's almost like the surprise, like, we made you think that there was going to be 3. It's only 2. But never 1. Like 1 is boring. It's more fun if you have like 2 crazies playing off of one another. Sorry, just going through this. I don't want to miss any supers. Okay. Andrew McCrea. Gale and Kirby have to carry this storyline into 7, right? I mean, they can't. I think it would be such a big mistake to kill Gale. I think they should definitely put her in peril. But it would just be disrespectful to kill Gale off. Kirby, I'm not so sure. Like, Kirby is a big mystery. She's a big question mark to me, because where's she been? What has she been up to in between movies? There was this was an Easter egg, and I don't know if it's even canon, because it was more so, I don't even know if it was it was in the deleted scene for 5 of just like her missing person poster. Maybe we'll get some insight into that in the movie, but I don't necessarily think that she's a killer, because that doesn't make a lot of sense unless they kind of set it up in this movie. But I think that there's going to be something that she's withholding from the other characters. There's going to be something that she knows that's going to be like a key piece in the mystery, or something like that. There's going to be some suspicious goings on with goings-ons. I can't speak. With her in this movie. I don't know that means that she's the killer, but it would be very weird if they're just kind of like, aha, she's the killer, and like, not the Kirby that I know from Scriforum. So, yeah. Michael Chin, do you think it was a mistake that they killed Dewey? I don't think that it was a mistake that they killed him. I just think it was a mistake how they handled it, because it was so easy. It was really telegraphed. That's the problem with it. It was just kind of like, well, this is my life now. I said my goodbyes. I've, checked off all the the boxes that I needed to. I can now like go out with dignity. Because it was really like so many stupid mistakes, especially for like an expert like him to make, for that to happen, that I almost wish that it was not really, because it was really framed as like a heroic thing, which it was. I mean, like, it because it's Dewey, and he had to go back there, but it wasn't really like the heroism was more so him kind of agreeing to help Sam. And him kind of being stupid at the hospital was just him being stupid. So it was almost like the writers were just like, well, we have to kill one of them. We have to kill Dewey. So it was more of just like, it wasn't necessarily like, how do we do it? It's just like, we got to get it done. And that's what I think is the problem with his death in Scream 5, is that it was so, um, it was stupid. It was stupid. I don't have another word for it. Let's see here. Uh, Mr. Check Yourself, Jenna Ortega said Kirby has some type of redemption arc. Um, Maybe. Why is Jenna saying shit? You know, if she has a redemption arc, it's because of something that we find out. It's because she doesn't do anything bad in Scream 4, to my recollection. ATGNAT podcast, killing Dewey, the biggest mistake of the franchise? Question mark. Um, no, no. I think that the Stab franchise is the biggest mistake of the Scream franchise. Um, but that's just me. That's just me. I hate Stab. You guys know that. Um, Brendan Caruso, have you watched Wednesday? If so, what do you think? I have watched Wednesday. I did binge it. As I'm not a binger, but I watched it as like quickly as I could, which probably took me like 4, 5 days, less than a week. Um, it came out on a Wednesday. I definitely finished it before the following Wednesday. I thought it was kind of tepid. I think that Jenna is phenomenal in it. She's the best part. She plays the role so well. And honestly, like Jenna Ortega, she's this generation's Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, she's her own person. Not to say that she's just like another Sarah Michelle Gellar, but like when I think of like just like influential young female stars of just like yesteryear, Jenna Ortega feels like that. Like she's would be like take that mantle in 2022 and moving forward. Actually, I do have to say, like right now, like the three who are like really at the top of my list are Jenna Ortega, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Mia Goth. They're phenomenal. That trifecta of just like amazing talent. I love them in everything they do. I love everything that they're in. I mean, like Wednesday, well, it's good. It was enjoyable. It served its purpose, but I felt that it kind of fell into the trappings of like the typical like CW like teen drama shit, and I just felt like a lot of it didn't work. Of just like, let's give Wednesday like this love triangle, and I hated her love interest, like more so like the one guy, I forget his name, the one who was like a student at the school, like but it's just like I didn't care for any of the side characters. The roommate was okay, like she was fun, but I just felt like there was so much wasted. Like Christina Ricci was just like wasted in it. That I almost wish that the teaser for what Wednesday was, of just like her being in the regular public school system and unleashing the piranha in the swimming pool on the swim team. Like I wish that was the show. I wish that was kind of like the like fish out of water, uh, of just like Wednesday, because taking her and putting her in this like school of kind of like her peers, of just more like supernatural or occult people, and still having her as an outsider, it didn't make sense to me. It's just almost like she's such an outsider, she doesn't even fit in with these people, that it almost would have felt more appropriate just leave her in a like in a setting where it's night and day rather than just kind of like night and night, but she's just kind of moody and doesn't want to talk to people. Cause it the whole thing just felt like Harry Potter to me. And I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. Um, I don't hate it. I just like I couldn't be bothered. Like I don't even think I finished the series. So it was just more like it was like magic and wizards and werewolves and stuff, and Scooby Doo murder mysteries, and I don't know. It wasn't doing it for me. Jenna Ortega really was the thing that got me through. God, I love her so much. She's so good. Um, that's another. I really hope that her role is expanded in this movie. It's nice to see them all together. It's nice to see that, like, oh yeah, remember, like, Tara is our friend. Um, but if she's just kind of pushed to the wayside again, I will be very disappointed. I think that what they should be doing is have like kind of like Scream 2 and two separate storylines, have a Sam storyline and a Tara storyline, and then they can kind of like coalesce at varying points, because they're sisters. But I don't want to see Tara just kind of be this damsel in distress, or just, just like Sam's little sister that she has to protect. Like I want to see Tara step up to the plate and do it, because, like, if you have someone like Jenna Ortega, get her to do shit. Jenna was the best out of Scream 5. I think Jenna was the best actor in Scream 5. I would have liked her more if she did more. And sorry, I didn't. Ismail. I would have liked her if she did more. But I think that in general, like, all the people who survived were all my favorite characters, because I did not care for the killers at all. Wes was such a like nothing character to me, and like Liv, like, get the fuck out of here. So definitely, I was happy with that. I'm glad that these are the people who are going to be in Scream 6, because they definitely carried that movie the best. Okay. Dion Demeski. I hope I said that right. Zach, what do you think of Angelina from Scream 3 coming back as a killer? I don't think that that's gonna happen. I think that Angelina's dead, and I don't think she ever was I mean, I know that she was supposed to be the killer, but I don't think canonically she was the killer. I don't think it was a situation of Roman killing her before the big reveal because he wanted all the credit for himself. So yeah, I don't think that Angelina's still out there. I think that, like, the whole thing, because it's all started because of her name being absent from the book in the DVD set of just like all the deceased characters, and then her being omitted. I think that was just a mistake. But yeah, there's not going to be any Angelina. There's not going to be any Stu. If there is Stu, like, I will eat crow. I don't think it's a good idea. But I'm just putting that out there. Radley's vlogs. I saw Jason in the trailer. Yeah, he's sitting in the back of the car. Jasper underscore Zach, do you think Stu Macher is still alive? I just said nope, and I hope not. I hope he's dead. No, I love Stu. I just don't. We don't need that. We don't need dead characters coming back to life. This is not Melrose Place. You know, people die, they're dead. Leave it at that. Heather Marie. Angelina had to take some effing responsibility. Uh, yeah. Let's see. Mozart Herbert. I think the old mask is because it's linked to someone in the past, Stu, who is in charge of the Ghostface cult, like the original Scream 3 plot. There's gonna be three killers, two new plus Stu. Mark my words. But like, would they really? I feel like the Scream 3, the unused Scream 3 cult plot is so widely known that it just feels like, are we really going to, are we going to Blumhouse this and just like start digging into the bag of like rejected Halloween scripts to make these new movies? I can't see them doing that. And not only that, but I've even that version of Scream 3, it always feels like it's gotten more criticism than the actual Scream 3 of just like, oh, I'm glad that they didn't do that because that sounds even worse. I mean, I'm sure that it would have been done better. I don't think that it's like the explanation of it is fully uh, done justice because it is just kind of like a 30-page treatment, generalized. Because obviously this was Kevin Williamson. I think that there would have been a lot more to it than that, but I don't know. We'll see. It's different. That's for sure. But I don't know. Stews of the past. Silent Saturn. If anyone is leading a cult, it's Jill, not Stu. I think that, there were so many great opportunities to end Scream 4 in a way that they did not end it, and to go into a fifth movie with Jill, having gotten away with everything, and sadly, all that potential was thrown out the window with that terrible tacked on ending. I'm sorry. Um, let's see. Jack T. Zach, do you think that escape room? Sorry. Do you think that escape room that took place in New York could have crossed over with Scream? Like the Tournament of Champions escape room? No, no. I mean, like they're not even. It's not even the same production company. Um, and I think that Scream is way above Escape Room, just is as far as a franchise goes. I don't even know if there's like any word on any more Escape Room movies coming out. Um, I mean, I don't think that's a terrible franchise, but it always just felt like Saw Light to me. Um, Charlie, will Dewey be back as a vision Gale has? No, I don't like. I mean, I hold on. I'm eating my words here. I was gonna say like that's not really something that the Scream franchise would do. Yet we've done that twice now. Once with Sydney and her mother, and another time with um, Sam and her father, Billy. But no, I think that they should respect the character of Dewey. I don't want to see him come back as, I mean, like, cause like in the case of like Maureen's, I don't want to say ghost because she was obviously like a figment of Sydney's imagination, or dream really, or Billy. Like they both kind of had this, like they were evil. Like I mean, like Billy is, but like Maureen was just presented as like just being this like evil uh, mother who was like doing nefarious things, and was like almost like tempting Sydney to drink the Kool-Aid. So I just feel like I wouldn't want to see that become of David Arquette, for him to come back just to kind of be like an evil version of this character or not even like evil, but just kind of like a dick. I think it's best to just leave characters in the past. Like I'm not even a fan of like the Randy videotape in Scream 3. Um, but again, that's just me. Uh, Movies and breakfast. Scream 3 is the scariest. I can't comment on that. Because I don't like none of these movies scare me. But I know a lot of people find the nightmare sequences of 3 to be scary. Hamish, if Zach reads one of my comments, I will die a happy man. Uh, Vito Gomez, there is another Final Destination coming. There is. Although it's coming to like HBO Max or something like. Let's make theatrical releases a thing again. Sheldor, hey Zach, do you think Scream 7, VII? I know people get really mad when I spell out the Roman numerals. Will be the last movie? No, I think as long as they're making money, there's going to be more Scream movies. Um, However, if there's something revealed in this movie in 6 that's sort of like hints towards this being a trilogy, then I think that maybe 7 could be the last for a while. Um, so, we'll see what happens there. But I don't know. I think when you start to like plan out movies and do like multi movie story arcs, that's when things get messy. I mean, the Halloween Blumhouse trilogy, for example, I can't offer like a better example than that. Because there's always like, even if people have the best intentions, there's studio interference, there's multiple writers, there's stars, executive producers, Jamie Lee Curtis interference. Like there's never going to be a complete vision of like a trilogy like that comes together. It's always going to feel disjointed, and that's why I feel that like with every Scream movie, they should really just focus on doing one at a time. Just like focus on making like the best Scream movie each time. Don't think of like, okay, well, we're gonna do this and it's gonna set up this movie, which is then gonna set up this movie, which understandably is like what they do because they want to think of like what is the most money we can make going into the future. But I think that it's almost like overcomplicating it. I think the best way to be successful is to just focus on making good movies, and that's lost on these big studios, unfortunately. Even though I will say like Halloween Ends was my favorite of those new movies, very controversial, but I liked it the best. But huge. I mean, so many mistakes made in that movie. Like it is not a perfect or good movie by any stretch of the imagination. Um, but it went places, that's for sure. The Virgo, I'm excited for Evil Dead next year. Evil Dead Rise, that's one of my most anticipated. I mean, it's Scream, uh, Evil Dead Rise. I guess I don't know if they're doing a Friday the 13th movie at this point. As far as I know, it's just the series that's going to go into production. But as far as I know, like just in terms of the rights, Sean Cunningham does have not like Friday the 13th rights, but Jason Voorhees rights. So I mean, I guess it could be like a Jason movie. Uh, Jason insert title like goes to uh, wherever, where has he not been yet. Uh, Shit, we're over an hour. Deanna Ryder, do you think the teaser scene is before or after the image of the crew in the museum? I feel like it's right after. The look on their faces seems like they just found out about the costumes stolen. That's way more information than I knew about or needed to know about. Gabs. Sydney had a perfect conclusion to her character. Um, if she comes back, good. If she doesn't, also good. Excuse me. Ooh. Um, yeah, I mean, like three really was the perfect conclusion for her. Four, I know it sounds like I'm always crapping on four, and I love the movie. I love the movie, but that ending was just it was just weak, and it did nothing for those characters. I think at least in five, like there was a little bit more closure for them, but yeah, I don't. I if they're gonna do another Sydney movie, I think like give her a break for a little while. Like I want to see like a big return for her, not just kind of like a small cameo. Extron Gaming, Zach Cherry Craven, Something Scary made a video proving how Stu could have survived his injuries, and he made good points. But I agree, we still shouldn't bring Stu back. It wouldn't make any sense. I mean, I'd have to watch the video, but I think that as far as I can recall, Stu has been spoken of in the past tense. Like he's been spoken of posthumously. And it's just because in the most recent one, Dewey says, oh, he's a real Looney Tune or whatever, rather than saying he was. That's like got people all crazy about it. But the fact is that like Randy already spoke of him in the past tense in Scream 2 before he got it. And I'm pretty sure like Gail mentioned him in Scream 3. I can't remember where else his name came up. But I don't know. I think it's just I mean, I never thought that Kirby would come back and yet here we are. So anything's possible. It just like just I'll just say this, just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean that you should. Um going down. Taz Prods. Do you watch Mike Flanagan stuff? He'll be releasing The Fall of the House of Usher next year, a limited series that's being promoted sorry, it keeps going up. Being promoted as heavy, gory, and giallo, etc. I knew that he was doing something like he was it Prime that he got contracted by or something because he's done with Netflix as far as I know. They canceled um, Midnight Club, which was really good. But yeah, Mike Flanagan stuff is great. I wish that he did more movies rather than TV. But then again, like his style is very like TV esque. Like it's very long and drawn out. So maybe he is better for television. But I seem to recall like a lot of movies that he's done that have been successful. And obviously like Doctor Sleep, but that is like a whopper of a movie. But like Oculus, and even like that prequel to, and as I say prequel because I hate prequels, but prequel to Ouija. I never even saw the first one. I heard it was terrible, but the one that he did was well made. Kevin Serrano, do you think there will be a Scream 4 flashback to Kirby finding out about Jill? No, I don't. I'm because that okay. They might do like dead characters coming back in visions and nightmares and stuff, but they've never done flashbacks. Um, they could. I just don't think it's one of those things that needs to be shown to us. And just like thinking of it more like from a studio perspective of just like, do we want to spend the money to recreate a scene from Scream 4 for the new movie if it's not relevant to anything? Like if it has something to do with like Jill or Kirby and Jill, you never know because like even as they made the decision to do the Billy hallucination, that was a ballsy move on their part. And I think it was like Kevin Williamson that gave them the go ahead of the writers and just been like, yeah, do it. Like, take risks. Like, that's, how you make movies. So possibly, I just don't think that they wouldn't just make a flashback just for the sake of like showing how did Kirby survive. Like we never saw flashbacks of how Dewey survived in the first movie or the second one, so I don't think that we need to see anything with Kirby necessarily. Um, Jaden Archuleta. I liked Amber. She was fun. I hate Amber. I hate Amber so much. That's cool that you like her, and I know that there are a lot of people that like Amber a lot, but I just found her so basic and not a surprise at all, and not interesting, not fun. Great performance, like that. Mikey Madison did a great job, but just as a character, she was just cardboard to me. It was just like almost like just crazy for the sake of being crazy. I don't like that. There was no nuance to her at all. Uh, Shoot to Kill. Did Mindy get stabbed? I heard something just before the outro title. Very well could be. We'll have to wait and see. Marquise, since they did it in Scream 5, I'd rather them just go ahead, keep letting Sam have hallucinations of Billy. I mean, yeah, there was never any reason or just like explanation as to why she was getting like it almost seemed like this was just like a common thing for her. Of course, there's the theory that Richie uh, replaced her medication with placebos or tampered with it somehow, and that's why she started to get the visions of him to begin with. Although that's just because it was never expressly shown to us or stated, that we don't really have the answer to that. But if that was the case, I think at this point, if she's back to being medicated, she probably won't be having those visions. They definitely that's you bring up a good point. I mean, like just something that just like makes me draw back to the character of Sam, because I think that it's really important that they represent her properly, just in terms of like mental health awareness and everything, of just like having this character who's clearly suffering from issues. I don't want that to be glossed over in this movie. I don't want it to be like one of those plot points that's just forgotten about because it's not relevant to the story at hand. Like this is a facet to her character that makes her interesting. It makes her human. It makes her relatable, and also like socially relevant. So it would be annoying if for some reason they just write her to be like straight laced or whatever in Scream 6. Like that's how she kind of comes off. I think that like she still has all this baggage. If they forget about it, like that's almost like Sydney coming back in Scream 2 and just being like la di da da da, like my mother never died, my boyfriend never tried to kill me, etc. So I hope that there's mention of it. I don't necessarily think that Skeet Ulrich needs to come back to be a ghost or a hallucination, but I hope that they do her character justice. And I like Sam. I think that she got a bad rap, and Melissa Barrera especially, for having a wooden performance. But someone brought up a really good point, just in terms of like a person who would be taking medication such as like antipsychotic pills. They do become like very listless, and like their persona shifts. That very well could have been a choice by her and the directors to kind of be portrayed, just the way that she did. But I don't know. I hope there's a turnaround for her. I hope that people appreciate her more in this movie. I do want to see Tara step up to the plate more, but I like both of them. Like I said, I like everyone who survived that movie. And everyone who died, good. Um, Horror movie kid reviews. So you think Stu is dead or alive? He's dead. Lewis, I think it was the script, not really her. She did her best. There, yeah, like that's the thing. When you have like big monologues and stuff like that, like it was a clunky bit of exposition to go over of just like, oh, I was in the attic and I was looking for the Christmas presents and I found this diary of mom's when she was in high school and it talked about dad. Only it wasn't dad, it was someone like yeah, that was not that's hard. First of all, like Melissa Barrera has the biggest screen presence in that movie. She has the most scenes, the most dialogue, the most to work with. So she was probably under the most stress there. That I could forgive little things like that. Like I don't get annoyed about you know wooden emotionality as much as other people do. Like I think that she did a good job actually. Um, T. Parker Evans, Richie's definitely the brains. Richie basically groomed Amber, and he's really manipulative. I think they both suck. I don't think that either one of them is the brains, and I don't think either one of them is the brawn. I think that they were two completely ill prepared uh, killer wannabes and were way in over their head and made so many mistakes. Like I never felt for a second afraid for any of the characters at the end there because I knew that there was no way that they were gonna get killed. Like it for Sydney to show up in that house with a cell phone. Like it's not like they showed us that they had cell phone jammer systems or whatever. As soon as Amber ran out that door and shot Gail, they could have just turned around, gone to the hospital, and said, "We went to this house. This girl with dark hair, about yay high, shot at us. She's the killer. Go back there. Anyone who's dead, just know that she's the killer." And then yeah, the whole fact of just them only having like framing Sam, that's the big thing, but framing Sam and then having Sam in the same space as one of the killers at the hospital, and then getting everyone's like statement, including the other killers, stating that Sam and him and all them were attacked by Ghostface at the hospital, that's now on record with the police, and then for them to not consider that at the end of the movie when they're just trying to frame Sam as the killer, that the police are going to be like, okay, well, who's the other killer? It's it's terrible. And then as far as like groomed, that's gross to think about. But yeah, someone did point out Amber's a high school student and Richie is like 24 or something. So yeah, it's a little creepy, but I hate them both so much. I might even, maybe I even like Charlie better than them. Like, who knows? I don't want to make any like proclamations like that here, but Charlie's looking a lot better these days. I'll say that. Uh, Rye Adem. I think I'm more excited for this one than five, and I love five. The New York City setting leaves endless potential for more set pieces, which recent entries have lacked. And I just dig Radio Silence's vision. I have a question. Okay, because I hear a lot of people, most people think that the first one is the best, or the first one is their favorite. The first one's my favorite. But there's a lot of people who like two or three or four is their favorite. But I've never heard anyone say that five is their favorite. So I don't know, like if there's anyone in here right now who can confidently say that five is their favorite. Raise your hand. What time is it here? Let's go for like 10 more minutes. That'll bring us to an hour and a half. Because because I gotta eat. I'm hungry. Kyra Knox. Ghostface Takes Manhattan. They certainly do. Uh, Movies and breakfast. Do you think Nev will ever return? I think so, just not anytime soon. Um, and then, sorry, I cannot read that, but Ready or Not is kind of overrated in my opinion. It's so eh. Um, I don't know. I watched it. I mean, not recently, like within this last year, because we did it on our podcast. By the way, I don't know. Like, does everyone know? Like, I have a podcast, the Cherry Picker. It's linked on my channel here, or just like in other channels. We have like a podcast every week, but we did Ready or Not a while ago. That was like one of the first movies that we covered, and I don't know, like, because I hadn't seen it for a while and I was kind of tepid on it as well. But after watching it again, I found like a newfound appreciation for it. I think that where it suffers is the writing, which interestingly enough, like half of the writing team of Scream, the new Scream is half of the writing team of Ready or Not. Um, but it's so much fun. Like we don't get enough horror movies like Ready or Not in this day and age that it's elevated for me, and I do think that I do like Ready or Not more than Scream 5. Scrolling down, Terra 1016 Scream 1996, not 2022. Oh, I missed something. Autumn Williams. Yo, does anyone here know if lives are archived or something? Because I had to miss so much of this after he did the reaction. Yes, it as far as I know, it will be. This is the first one I've done. I mean, I've done some for like Patreon through YouTube. Those are unlisted and they still show up. So this one should as well. They've changed the layout of YouTube. So there's like if you go to my channel, there's all the tabs at the beginning or the main page, and yeah, it says like you have home, videos, shorts, live. So it should be under live, and there's only one. This is my first live stream. Um, so yeah, you'll be able to catch up on it. Um, Ricardo Treville, what do you think of the Scary Movie franchise? Um, I don't know. I used to really enjoy it. I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't even seen all of them. Like the fifth one I never saw, but I know that Anna Faris uh, wants to do it again. Like she wants to come back and do more. So I would be down for that. I'd love to see them do like a scary movie requel parody. Like I think that would be good. It's definitely like the right time to do that too. Simone Murray. I'm not saying all Gen Z likes it. I'm saying the only people I met that favorite are Gen Z. I'm guessing that. Why do I have these in still? That's stupid. I think that seems pretty accurate. It does seem to be more of a Gen Z geared towards movie. I've probably been like yelling for the last hour, or like I had those in since I watched the trailer. T. Parker Evans, Mrs. Loomis is the most sane killer, and she had a legit motive. Is she the most sane? I don't think any of them are. I can't, like, I couldn't measure their sanity. I think that she was probably the most well equipped to get away with it. Um, but like like everyone else, she talked too much, when she should have just been like killing Sydney rather than telling her the whole plan. Um, but no, no, I don't know. I mean, it's because everyone, all of their motives are so different that you can't really measure sanity when you're dealing with revenge and fame and jealousy and stuff like that. I think they're all just twisted. um let's see. Autumn Williams, honestly, my Spotify Wrapped would have had the Cherry Picker as number one, but I love listening on Patreon early, so I listen there more. LOL. That's fair. I don't get the whole Spotify Wrapped thing. It was cool to see, but yeah, I don't use Spotify myself, so I did not have one. But it was nice to see everyone's support, for people who do listen to the Cherry Picker. We are actually, just since we're talking about Scream, we're covering Scream 5 in January. That'll be our 50th episode. I believe that'll be out on. Let me get my dates here. On January 17th. So basically like a year after the release of the movie. So that'll be Scream 5. We've already done the first four, and even a Who Killed Who like super episode, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen. It's got a lot of views, but yeah, and we will be doing Scream 6 after that comes out as well. So that's all this Scream you can look forward to on the Cherry Picker coming up. Jaden, Zach, would you have liked the original Scream 2 script of Derek, Hallie, and Mrs. Loomis as the killers? No, I don't know that is. I mean, like, I know that Elise Neal said recently that she was originally supposed to be a killer. I don't know if, because there were so many scripts written, that it was just more of just like a security thing at that point, of like, who will it be? I mean, it's possible, but I think that just in terms of like how everything worked out, like Mrs. Loomis and Mickey were the perfect duo for that movie. So I wouldn't have wanted to see Hallie and Derek. I'm sure that I mean, the characters throughout the movie as like pre unmasking would have been much different, just to kind of like build up to it. But I prefer the movie for like the way it turned out. Uh, JT Tice. In my opinion, the female ghost faces are top tier. I don't believe in the glorification of murder. I do believe in the empowerment of women. I mean, I'm Mrs. Loomis and Jill for sure. Amber is just so like nothing to me, but yeah. Okay, we'll finish it up in a minute. So I'll read any last things. Yeah, if you wanna get a super chat in before we wrap, I will get to that. So yes, horror nerd. I do have a super chat. Uh, or are you saying I have one and I didn't, or did I miss one? Oh yeah, I did. Shit. Okay. Sarah Campbell. Again, hello Sarah. I'm going to promote Zach in case he's too nice about it. You can join his Patreon and enjoy live streams with him on there. They're really fun. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah, she got me a few things. She bought me for my birthday. I can't remember. One of them was a birthday present, and one was my getting to 100K subscribers. By the way, I have the plaque or the silver play button. It's here. I unboxed it on Instagram. Go follow me there, Retro Bitch Face. You can watch it. But yeah, she got me the Gale Weathers book, the Woodsboro Murders. It's just like a blank like pages. I mean, I guess you can use it as a diary. She got me that, and then she also got me a vinyl album to add to my collection. For oh my gosh, what movie was it? Oh my god, this is embarrassing. Jacob's Ladder. Was that it? Yes. I have so many vinyl. Um, but yeah, so thank you, Sarah. And thank you for promoting Patreon. Yeah, if anyone wants to support me on Patreon, it's hugely appreciated. There's so much going on there. There's early access to all of the podcast episodes. We got the bonus podcast episode that comes once a month. This month we're doing Jawbreaker, one of my favorite cult movies. Monthly reviews for anyone supporting on that tier. Monthly live streams. I'm probably I forget. There's so much, but yeah, check it out for anyone who would like to support. I really appreciate that. And okay, that was the super chat I missed. Sorry. And then as this last one, horror nerd, Zach, what do you think of two killers who don't know each other and each have their own motives? Love it. They should do that. Absolutely. That would be really cool. They could have done that with Jill. I think that would have worked if she was still alive in 5, but sadly, that no longer exists. Okay. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, and again, just thank everyone for coming out to this and watching me react to this Scream 6 trailer, Scream VI or Screevy trailer. Teaser trailer, because I'm sure there's going to be another one. And thank you for making this first YouTube live, hopefully not the last, just the first YouTube live, as enjoyable as it was. And I wish you all a wonderful week. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. And yeah, I'll be right back. That's how I end these things normally.